I've been on the carnivore diet for a little over 2 months, and I just am. This is an update of how I've been doing. I started the carnivore diet because I have celiac and also was dealing with depression and was dealing with food allergies, different issues with my stomach, and thought, well, why not? Might as well try this one. I've tried tons of other ways of eating, so I thought I would try this. So the first month went really, really well. And I noticed surges in energy. I didn't fall into depression like I normally do. I started on January 13th. And so throughout the winter, I've been doing this and did not fall back into the depression that I normally do in the wintertime. So that was a big plus. I loved that. And, I also did a lot of other changes. I started to really work on changing my mindset. I developed a gratitude practice, a stronger gratitude practice. I've been doing gratitude practices for years, and I started to really up my game because I didn't want to go back into the depression. And I was pulling myself out of a a low grade depression that I had been in for about 3 years. So didn't want to go deeper. So I noticed that I had all these changes in, my energy. I was feeling so much better. And last week I decided that I wanted to add in some dairy. Well, don't know how to do just a little bit, I guess. So I added in some cheese and I was okay with that. And then I added in a couple of treats. What was cheat cream cheese and whole milk, or not whole milk, but it was like a cream cheese and cream mixture. And I added some sweetener in there, and man, that sweetener really triggered some sugar cravings. And then so it kind of went, last week was just kind of like boom, I was eating a lot more dairy. I was eating that was basically what I added in was dairy. And then on last couple of days ago, I went out to lunch with a friend and I had a hamburger patty, but then I also had a little bit of salad with that. And then that night or that afternoon, I ate a candy bar. Yeah. And the next day, I really noticed how I was feeling. And so I've been feeling it for the past couple of days, just feeling the lower energy, the effects of all the dairy and the candy bar. And so I've been back on it stricter. I did try to add avocados and not sure if that, because of trying to add, dairy and a sweetener, this artificial sweetener in, decided to add the avocado in, and my stomach's just not ready for all of that stuff yet, I don't think. So I'm back on doing strict carnivore, back to eggs and meat, eggs and salt, basically. And I know it's going to take me a couple of days to get my energy back. I've been still doing my walks and stuff, but yeah, so I did really notice a lot. I have, being on it strict, I noticed a lot of, I was feeling better than I've felt in years, but I was having a lot of symptoms. And that's why I started adding the dairy in, because I was having these kind of heart palpitations, and I started really upping my electrolytes. And then I did some research and said to add more fats because I don't have a gallbladder, so I was kind of eating less fat. And so I started adding butter to my meat. I would put butter on my meat, and that kind of helped. But I had been getting all these other like symptoms, like, rashes and itching and like my feet, like prickly feelings on my feet. And I researched that, and I think that might be oxalate dumping. And so I think it's probably something that I just need to deal with, unless I want to add in a few oxalates here and there. So I've been doing some research on that, and I think for now, I'll just continue to go back to eating the strict way. I know everybody has said that I've been reading or researching, and they say the benefits are, if you can do 90 days. And so I feel like I'm almost back to day one, but well, not so much, because I still am feeling the effects of eating good. Hadn't lost any weight for the past couple of weeks. I had only, well, I shouldn't say only, because 10 pounds is quite a bit for 2 months. when you look at it, because, and I know we're always wanting to lose so fast, right? And I just remind myself that, my body didn't get the way it is overnight, and it's not going to change overnight either. So just reminding myself of that. And I lost the 10 pounds, and I have noticed a big shift in how my clothes fit, and that I am switching around, right? So things are changing that way. So yeah, that's just an update on how things are going, and I will be back on it strictly, knowing that I haven't had any swelling. So what used to happen was when I would eat, my stomach would swell up so bad, and my body, my legs, my arms, my hands would just swell up, and would I noticed, and my gut was just huge. And I was looking at some pictures of me from last year, and I was like, holy cow, I was a lot bigger than I thought I was. And so I was thinking that I hadn't lost, much weight, and my clothes were not fitting and whatever. And then I realized that I've been wearing this hoodie that I wasn't able to even fit into last year. Actually, when I bought it, I bought it and never tried it on, and then got it home and couldn't fit into it. And I've been wearing it. I mean, it fit me, but it was right, like really snug around my belly. And I've been wearing that, and it's not snug around my belly anymore. And as I looked at those pictures, I was like, well, I was a lot bigger than I thought I was. So yeah, so I have been really noticing good effects with this. It's just a matter of getting the electrolytes right. And I know with the heart palpitations, they went away after when I started adding in dairy. And as I've added in these other things, I was eating some pickles and some olives, and those didn't bother me at all. I don't know if I'll go back to eating those right away again. I'll wait until till until I get going again, till my body starts readjusting again. I think I'll just wait and just keep up with the meat and try to add more fat. I know I need to eat more fat along the way. So we'll be trying that. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to know how, like with the oxalate dumping and with fats and the heart palpitations and things like that. And it was like I was feeling like I could almost feel my heartbeat in my whole body. It was almost like my blood pressure was way high. And I did test it, and it was a little bit high, but not overly, high. And I've been having some hot flashes. And I've gone through that whole phase of my life. I'm in menopause. I have been in menopause for probably 5 years now. And so I've gone through, actually longer than that. It's been about 8 or 9 years. So I've gone through all of that, and so the hot flashes coming back has been kind of like, So there's been all of that. And so if you have any suggestions on how to deal with all of that, I would love it. I'd love to hear anything. And I will check in again at my 90-day mark and see how things are going. So thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.